GoPro battery. I have to get a new one. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Whiskey Throttle. I'm out here again today. I'm working on the little Gator. I'm trying to get it running and riding because it's just chilling in the middle of my shop. So I don't know what episode this is of doing it, but today I'm doing the engine. What else am I doing? Oh, I'm getting the thumb throttle from the mini trike because I want him to be able to ride and I can't get a thumb throttle right now. So I'm going to take thumb throttle from the mini trike. I'm going to take the engine from the mini bike, and I got a torque converter. So we're going to throw all of those on right now and we'll go from there. So yeah, welcome back, everybody. Come on, I'm getting the bike right now. Good old lickety split. She's gonna be our engine donor until I get one that's electric start. This would be a good start. It's for my kid, so it doesn't have to have so much horsepower. Let's bring it in, go. I've been riding it. She's great. So my poor table here. Chow, chow. I marked it off with a pencil, but this is going to be on an engine plate now. So I'm going to cut me a square. Yeah, well, close enough. That wasn't straight. Let's move this out of the way. Perfect, nailed it. Let's go. Let's go clean this up. Nice. Let's do this. Sorry about that. I think it's going to be forward. It's the next day. Sorry I had to deal with doing little art projects for my son's entrepreneurship program. So we made a bunch of little snails. Snails and little tanks. He thought those were cool, so me and him spent some time, me and my son, welding up things for his little program. So now that that's all done, I'm gonna weld in this engine mount plate. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. And then we gotta take the engine off of that one over there. A little on the front there too, sure. Mask on. Hide your eyes, guys. Let's go get the engine off lickety split now. This is good for now. So we're gonna take this engine off, because this is a good 5-horse. Whoops, lost my hat, damn it. Can I get this off without? Whoop, if you can. Good job. I think my header pipe came loose. Yeah, my header pipe came loose again. Tighten that up when we get her on, but I think we'll have to undo that for now anyways, because it's got to go on. Without it, I think we'll feed this through the frame later. But not now. Just stay off for a sec. What's that? We don't need that either. Oh, wrong size. Okay. Engine's off. Here it is, guys. This is our engine right here. Let's go put it up on the bench, and then we can get the torque converter mounted on it. And the clutch off. The little centrifugal. Oh, shoulder. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Put that there. There it is. There's a little 5-horse. I want my hat back. Okay, we'll wait to do the thumb. Let's go do throw a torque converter on this thing. I think we have to tap out some bolts, but we might not. We'll see. This being one of them. Here we go. Driver and driven. Here's the bolts. Let's see, we're gonna have to take the.
That's the engine.
Yep, we're gonna tap it out to this size.
Can I help?
Nope, you're gonna sit there and watch, Sweepy, and watch your eyes, okay?
Where's the lead?
I got you, Sweepy. Love you. It is very close. Yeah, we're gonna go until it is there, though. Okay, so I tapped all these holes, and now we're gonna test fit the torque converter. That's most likely gonna need, I think it's a 9-tooth rather than whatever this is, so that's got more bottom end. Because we need bottom end, not top end, for this. Because we're gonna be climbing hills and shit. If this was just on the road, I don't think that would matter. But because we're ripping it in the woods, we're probably gonna need that bottom end off. It's tight. Tight. Tight-ish. I'm not going crazy. There you go. Cool. We got to impact this nut on. Make sure they didn't get anything in the threads.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, sweetie. Okay, impact that on. Ready? Nice. Just enough to get into the locking nut. I'm going to go with what they gave me. I'll be just waiting for this bolt to strip off. Not long enough, I don't think. Same threads, grade 8 bolt longer. Let's see if that works. Damn it. Threads are different, I think. Hey guys, torque converter's on. Let's go have a little look at how she's gonna sit in the frame. Get a sticker in there and hope it fits into that area. Oh, Jiminy. Oh, shit. Let's try from your guys' side. Whoa. She got heavier now she got that torque converter on there. Alright guys, I gotta think about this for a bit. I'll come back after I figure out what I'm gonna do. Okay, show you where we're at. So this is kind of where the engine needs to be. It's gonna have to be tilted up at the back. I think it actually has spacers under it right now. Yeah, it's even tilted right now, you can't tell. So yeah, it's tilted so that the chain, that sprocket, you see that bar that's down there, the little piece of pipe? It's lifted so we don't hit that with the chain going back out to the sprocket. Otherwise it hit. I kept messing around until I figured out that that clears now. With just, I put some washers underneath the engine. The other problem I have is the engine, I think, yeah, the whole front 2 bolts aren't on the plate. So I have to build or put a piece of strap steel across the front here in between the 2 tubes. Give that a place to have the engine mount, because I thought the engine would fit on that plate, but it didn't. So I have to make another piece for that. It's not the end of the world though. So there needs to be a piece of strap steel to go across the front for the engine mounts on the front. And yes, it actually needs washers all the way around. If I lift the front up a little bit too, it helps the choke work properly. I think we're gonna have to reclock the carburetor because it's on too much of an angle. I think the float's gonna get stuck, so I'll have to cut that, turn it, weld that in. But I'll show you the main one that we're gonna start doing here right now. As soon as I get you guys ready and in the right spot, down there, I don't know if you guys can see, maybe from this angle you can. Show you what I'm looking at. If you look where the sprocket comes out right there, that back arm, this one right here, that's gonna hit that whole arm, the whole brace that comes down. I have to cut it back, cut it there, move everything in. So that's what I'm doing now, guys, is I'm chopping this frame up again, right where the swing arm goes. And the reason why I'm doing that is, I guess I could slide the engine over more to the left, but then the weight would be off. Like you'd be riding with the engine all towards the left, and the engine bolts won't fit underneath where the tubes go like this. So I have it in the middle, and we're gonna cut this rear swing arm frame mount on this corner to make it so the chain clears. That's what I'm doing next, guys. Pull the body off and start cutting. Well, morning everybody again. It's the next day again. I've had a look over this thing overnight and I pulled the rear swing arm off. I'm going to remove the seat pan because I don't like how high it sits. So I'm probably going to remove the seat pan and I have to cut that arm, the control arm, or the rear swing arm. All this has been moved in. I ran out of welding wire. I'm gonna go get some today to weld this back in before we mount the engine permanently. Well, semi-permanently for the first test anyways. But right now I'm gonna cut that down because I narrowed it. I have to cut the tube. And on this side, I'm just gonna take the plate right off of where it's sitting because I don't care for it right there, honestly. Yeah, I don't know. Just seems like it sits up so high for no reason. And I thought I was gonna put the air fitting underneath the seat and I didn't. So like, this is stupid high at the front for no reason and it doesn't need to be. That being said, it's holding it flat maybe, I don't know. I don't think it is. Yeah, I guess it would. Oh shit, I guess I'm gonna have to leave that for now. Okay, leave this for now, chop this arm. So I'm gonna do that real quick. I'm gonna cut this whole arm up. We need to shorten it. Hey. Okay, I went and got welding wire. And my battery charged up enough for us to cut this piece. So we're gonna cut this tube down. She's gotta go down a little bit. Okay, chop chop. Let's cut some things up. Make some mistakes. Sweet. That was it, guys. Cut that down, cut this down. We're gonna make so the bearing can go in that end. So we're going back in. And it clouded back over. It got windy. Whatever. So the next thing I'm going to do real quick is I have to make it so that this arm holds a bearing. Give me a second. I'm going to try to do it nicely. Okay, so I got mad. Sorry, not too mad, but it just pissed me off. I broke the bearings. So I broke the bearings that are in the back of this control arm by trying to cut down and then put them into the new, location, I guess, that's over by about an inch. It is what it is. I'm just gonna order some new bearings. I'll probably see if the local hardware store has some this afternoon. But basically, I just ground this all down to make it shiny. Oh, there's the battery, perfect. You're gonna work like that. So as I was saying before the battery so rudely died, is I messed up the bearings on this control arm. So instead of just wasting my time with doing nothing, I ground it all nice and shiny. That's what it looks like now after all the wire wheeling and flap disking, and looks pretty decent. Looks pretty good to me. Got the airbag mount in the back. I'm gonna weld this other side up so that it's nice and fat on both sides. I don't know if you guys can see that. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Then I'm gonna weld that frame up too. So both of these things are getting welded right now. And yes, I gotta clean off my table again. It's been a hell of a day. I was pretty mad when I messed that bearing up. It is what it is, shit happens. I was not happy about it, to be honest with you. I hate when people are, no, it's fine. Yeah, I feel great about that. Yeah, I'll just buy more bearings. It's like nobody wants to buy more bearings, okay? Nobody wants to buy more parts. All this shit's expensive. Doesn't matter what it costs, because it all adds up. That's the problem. Could be a $3 bearing, could be a $4 bearing. Well, $4 bearing, and welding wire, look, that's 40 bucks, 50 bucks. Up here in Canada, it's ridiculously expensive. Anyways, let's get to welding this thing up. I want to see some shiny shit. if you can see my part in the background. Ooh, cool rock. I said I see a cool rock. Where'd it go? I walked over it. Damn it. I seen it. Oh well. Maybe I'll see it again tomorrow. Fix my eye again. Anyways. Okay guys, I picked a wicked time to paint. And a perfect time to film with that in a certain way. Perfect, nice. Alright. Here we are. It's pouring. That'll take like 3 days to dry here, I'm sure. But if I left it like that, or all silver like that, it was gonna immediately rust anyways. So, let that primer set up. I got another coat of paint coming for that. We'll have to go do it in the barn over there, I think. Spray that next coat. But, there's always a but. I'm on to doing, do you see me? Let's go work on the frame while we can. Okay, I moved it up onto the bench. Now you can see what I'm working with. Right there. I'm trying to weld all that back in. All this has been cut. I'm gonna try and weld this. I cut it here and I cut it there to straighten it out. And all this has been moved back in. So, yeah, this all has to get welded up. All this has got to get welded up. Put some pieces in here, weld all that up. That's what I'm doing right now, guys. Hey, guy editing. Let's make this one nice and short. Let's just boop, 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 you know? And all of a sudden it'll be done. Let's do that, okay? I'm gonna jump a gap. Oh, sorry that hole. Okay, I don't care. And boop! Just like that, it's all done. So, I see I missed a spot here I'll have to grind out, but everything is welded in, ground down, welded in, ground down, welded in, ground down. Everything on here, I ground it down after welding it in. So, I need to do a plate for in front right here. I'm going to weld in a piece that goes across. Have to because the engine wants to sit way out here. And then, yeah. So we'll weld that part in next. Oh, we got one more thing to do. Let's go paint this rear swing arm. It's time for its next coat, if you know what I'm saying. For the swing arm over here. And we are going John Deere green for this one. Rattle can paint job. Rattle can paint job. That primer sure made it turn out nice. Yeah, let's let that dry for a while. That's the whole rear swing arm, so. And I didn't get those bearings from, they didn't have them, so I have to wait for Amazon for the brake booster and the bearings. So that'll be in the next episode. Sorry guys, I can't do it on this one. But, that's what it looks like now. I have to get a steel plate to weld in here. Alright, so, hold on, I gotta get a board for underneath there. My log. I got a piece of steel, guys. I cut it. I got it kind of mocked into place here. We're gonna weld it in. I'll show you here in a second, as soon as we get it outside. Because I want to weld it out here today. It stinks. All this stuff stinks no matter what you do, whenever you weld. So, today I'm gonna weld with the door open. Well, just outside the door. And hopefully that doesn't bother you guys whether or not I weld outside. gonna be kind of bright. But whatever, at least you guys can see. So, set you up, show you the piece that I made, and grab my welder. So the piece, guys, that I made is I got a tube from a frame over there, and I got this plate off my welding table. I put the tube into place. I've been pissing around trying to make sure that it's level because it takes forever. And now I'm going to tack this in. I was only going to do a 2-inch strip, but I figured, hey, if I do the whole front piece, it'll probably protect the engine from like rocks, all sorts of weird shit from coming up from underneath, because it will if you drive this through a pond or something like that, or any kind of water. So yeah, I'm going to weld this one in. And it's outside, and it's beautiful now. It was raining, and it's not now. So I'm going to enjoy the nice weather. Normally I would wire wheel all this down, but my damn battery keeps dying on all my wire wheels, so here we are. I'm still going to do it. Good enough. I'll have to flip it over in a minute. I am getting better with my booger welds. Like, that wasn't bad. Hope you guys actually seen that one, because less embarrassing, which is great. And we're back on. So, if you guys can see, that's where the plate is now. I grounded it down a little bit, nothing too crazy. And I mocked up where I think the plate was gonna go, or the engine's gonna go. I've had it on and off 3-4 times. And I made a template for the bolt hole mounts. So if you ever do this yourself, in order to get these really nice, I just make a template out of the cardboard of the engine. I just make my own template of exactly the bolt holes. That way, it's nice and straight and everything lines up. So right now I'm going to drill the holes for the engine bolts, and yeah, we'll get back to mocking up the engine, and then we got to bring in, or yeah, we got to cut off the other brake part, because I can't put the swing arm back on until we get the parts from Amazon, because the bearings are missing. So let's drill these holes on this engine and get the brake mount cut off of the old rear weird assembly in the middle. Finally, so I got the holes drilled out. I made them a little bit bigger than the bolt so that we could actually, you know, do the slot thing and things will go through even if they're not dead straight. So let's get the engine over here, and we're going to do some mock-up of the engine. Try to see if the engine will fit. It fits pretty good, which is good. Okay. That's the engine in there. I hope everything else works. I can't tell until we start trying things. What can we do next? I'm going to do the seat pan. I'm going to cut one of those out. Torque converter's in, engine is basically in. Rear swing arm bushings and brakes. I have a throttle. Everything's just chop, chop, cut, cut, chop, 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 cut, cut, chop, chop, cut, 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 chop, chop, chop. So, this used to sit on here, okay? Like this. This holds the caliper, and I don't want to have to redesign all of this shit, so I'm going to cut this whole half off of it so that I can use this bracket. And this bracket will hold the brake, which is what I'm going for, so I don't have to mess around with making a caliper bracket. So let's take this outside, use a cut-off wheel, and chop it off. Maybe some goggles this time would be nice. I think I found them. Battery's probably just gonna die anyways, so that's cool. But we're getting somewhere. I feel like we're getting somewhere. Piece by piece, guys. Oh, I got another chunk to cut over here too, eh? Let's hide in the shade. And we gotta go charge it again. See you guys in a little while, okay? Back to charging. Still here. All right, I got batteries charged. I got my safety glasses, and hopefully we can cut all these pieces before the battery dies this time. Yeah, final day of working on this video guys and girls. Today's the final day, so I gotta get as much as I can done today before I gotta get the video edited and get it out for tomorrow. So yeah, good luck getting that all done, but I'll do the best I can. Hopefully I can get it all done. So these are the pieces that I cut up out in the yard. It's part of the hub, so I have a brake mount. I'm just gonna bolt it right back up to the thing. Well, to the whole rear assembly. You'll see here in a minute. We're gonna do the whole rear. I'm gonna mount everything up on the rear axle and get it ready for when the bearings come from Amazon. And I got the seat trimmed down so it's not so big and gaudy. And we're gonna put that, I'm gonna tack that on over there on that thing as well. And the last piece that you didn't really understand why I was cutting was this piece. I cut a bunch of these out of it. Bunch of chunks that all have to be like trimmed down and smoothed out, but they fill in those pieces. I know they kind of look gaudy and stupid right now, but they fill in the little piece that goes right in there. My light just went out and then back on and back out and back on. Oh, I don't know why my light's going on. It's all good. Okay, spacers and longer bolts. Let's see how she does. Okay. A little bit more even would be dope, but a little bit of a lean never hurt nobody. Everybody's got a bit of a lean. Can we get that torque converter on? That's going to be the question for the ages. Is it even straight? No. Cover, I mean. I want to see if I can get the cover on. I don't think I can. Guys, calm down. Don't tip over. We're gonna have to do some major shit. You have to be able to just come down and go on. So like the whole bottom half of this is gonna be gone, which sucks because it keeps the water off. Crap.
Dad, where's the remote you had?
Oh, it's over there, Sweet Pea. Okay, so everything is awesome. I mean, not really, but okay. So I cut this a bunch more times. Made one mistake, it's kind of melted over. That's okay. We'll deal. But let's see if it goes on now. They're trimmed pretty brutally along the bottom here, but hey, we got 3/4 of it, right? Cha. With that is all it takes to get it on and off now. I'll take it. I don't want to cut this back too far, so give me a sec. 100% it has to be cut more. Pull that away bit so I can see. And then I'll know how much more to trim. Yeah, definitely that whole notch that I drew out. So I'll be back in a minute after I cut that out. At least it goes on and off now. I'm just got it, finger tight. And let's move on to all the other pieces. First is axle. You're just gonna see, boop, 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 this, and it'll be like a bunch of pieces. If I can edit it properly, it'll just be like, pa, like, ka-cha, and it'll be done. Okay? That's how it's gonna be, just, foo, ka-cha, everywhere, everything. So, that's what it looks like right now. That's the bearings in, the brake on, that piece that we ground all done. The brake disc is on. It needs to be tack welded in. Like the disc needs to be welded onto the axle. And I think we've decided on the exact length. Right now it's at 16 3/4 each way. I'll double check that right now before I do anything stupid, but she's almost 16. Oh yeah, this is a stupid bearing collar. So if you go to here, it goes to 16 1/4. Right? Go to the housing, 16 1/4. So from here out, either way, it's dead even. It stands still for the back half. I got the engine in, torque converter cover on, so it goes on and off. What else can we do? I can do the seat, the exhaust, like the seat pan right there. I can do that real quick. Weld that on. Exhaust has to be manipulated a little bit. We can do that too, because like now I know where it is. Let's see if it even fits. That's what we'll do right now. Let's test the exhaust system with the pipe and weld in the seat. And I got those other pieces there too. Weld that in. Where's my exhaust? Does it fit? So close. No, it hits the front. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. So, I'm gonna drop that in there. That way separate. Let's do some manipulation in the situation with a cutoff wheel. You know what I'm saying? First off, it needs to go down. And I think right here, no, maybe, yeah. Cutting it right here is going to help us go down. That's going to go down that way. And right here, I'm going to cut right along there so we can kink it down. And I'll just move the blade a little bit for that one because it doesn't need much of a kink. I'll be back in a second. So I got my header pipe. Told you I'd make some relief cuts. I made one here. I should have put one here instead here so it didn't look so goofy. But it's too late. I've already decided. I'm going to leave it. It is what it is. I made too big of a gap here. I'm going to have to fill that with a piece of the part that I cut off, but that's okay. Second, by the way. But I think we get it all welded up. Exhaust goes that way. Should be okay. It's only a little tiny engine in this little 212 anyways. And it's not like I reduced it much. I more just kind of kinked the pipe in several spots. And I think we're going to have to heat wrap it anyways. Like, heat wrap. Because otherwise you're going to sizzle the shit out of your leg. So I'm going to weld this up. And weld the seat on. So you guys can... I'm going to weld it. Game on. Woo! That really... Okay, I'm gonna go quench it and grind it, and I'll bring it back for you guys to see. So, that's the way it looks now. Basically, I just made it straight so that it went out the back, tilted it down so that it would clear everything.
Looks really good.
Thanks. So I'm going to throw this back on. There we go. We got clearance now. Alright. I'll leave those on there now. Keep my locking washers. So there's an exhaust system that needs a set of heat wrap, but that's okay. At least it looks like it's going to go out from underneath the seat. And what's the last thing we can do? We can attach the seat pan for this video. I don't think there's much else after that. We're waiting for bearings and brake. And I don't want to do the brake until we have the brake booster here. So let's get this welded on and call it a night. Call it a video. I think I got to figure out where the seat fits on this and then tack it. Right there.
Worked out way better than
Oh, thanks, son. I got to tack weld this in now, so the welder. Okay, to finish off the rest of this video, guys, please like and subscribe if you like the channel or like the show. Next time on the video, I'm going to be hopefully getting the last parts. We get to take this thing for a test drive. I got one more thing to show you guys tonight before we weld that in and I call it a night. I'll show you the sprocket that's going to go on here because it's pretty cool. I did it in the background today while everything was charging. She's bright yellow, so I throw that on and basically the rear axle is ready to go. Canary yellow. Give me a second and then I'll weld that up. And then I'm shutting off the lights, I'm going in. And I appreciate you guys watching, and don't forget that, Hey, if I don't like it later, I'll cut it off again, and I'll do it again. That's it for tonight, guys. See you in the next video. We'll do more of this. And hopefully test drive this in the next video, guys, because that's the engine, exhaust. Most of the drivetrain, we cut a master link, we get to ride this thing. So thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.